Okay, so I'm gonna do my standard ride today. I probably do this 3 to 4 times a week. Leaving here, going down to Safety Harbor and into Phillippe Park. Pretty warm day today. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Warm. That was Jane, who was a friend of Maureen's. I see her walking her dog from time to time. So, the first part of this ride is in the resort here on top of the world. And this is the only area where I really have to ride on roads, or I should say ride on roads where I'm worried about the cars, and that's mainly because there's a lot of older people driving in this area. Oh, something's going on over here. That's too bad. So they do have this bike lane here for part of it. But I do have to be careful. So I usually start out a little slower and then pick up the pace as I get into the ride. I guess it just takes my body a little bit to get into the mode of biking. There's the golf course. I still haven't golfed here though. And in fact, I've only gone to the driving range in Dunedin once. But I did surprisingly well. But this is a nice area to bike in general. Lots of trees covering the roadway or the trail. It's about 90 degrees out already. It's about noon. And a little more humid than it's been the last few days. So I'm feeling it a little more. But hopefully I'll be able to finish the ride with no problem. I feel reasonably healthy right now, so that's good. Oh, so the gate is locked again. Well, that sucks. Okay, well, I guess I'm going out the other way again. Oh, it's actually unlocked, just closed. Well, that's stupid. Okay. This is the rockiest part of my ride. Everything else is paved. And this isn't bad, although right at up around this corner, there's an area where you go up a little hill and it's sandy, which makes it very difficult. So, here we go. Somebody put some boards down there to help. That was good thinking. Certainly feeling the humidity today. So I guess they're putting up new power lines here. The other thing I wonder is if this is a staging area for repair trucks during the hurricanes. I don't understand people who ride a bike holding their phone. What could be so interesting that you have to look at while riding? I don't get that. I mean, then again, I have mine attached, but I rarely look at it. But I see people, and they hold it the whole time they ride. I don't get that mindset. So right now there's very little wind, but evidently the winds will pick up while I'm on my ride, and at the end they may actually be kind of strong. So if the forecast is correct, that may be an issue. But this is the Duke Energy Trail, and I normally come south as I exit that gravel area. So I go to the right and come down on my normal ride. When I first moved here, I didn't go south for several weeks, and I only went north. I don't no idea why, just and that takes you up and can eventually connect up with the Pinellas Trail, but there was a missing piece, and they finally built a bridge for a bicycle path bridge, and it's finished but not yet open. So I don't know that it's going to open before I leave a week from today. So when I come back, I'll be able to go north, and that's going to open up lots and lots of trails. It'll connect up, and I can go up and do a full Pinellas Trail loop, which will be nice. But also, I can go and start going across and over to Phillippe Park, which is also a lot of nice bike paths up there. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. Give me more variety in my riding. Right now, to be honest, I pretty much do this route that I'm doing today almost exclusively. The one difference I will occasionally do is up here in another mile and a half, I'll cut across a road and get on to the Ream Wilson Trail, but I could continue down on the Duke Energy Trail down to the Druid Trail. I recorded a video of that recently, and then went all the way across to the shore and across the causeway to Clearwater Beach, which was a nice ride. I did that on Saturday. So, but Duke Energy here, it goes along the power lines for the most part, and it's a nice trail. It's not used that much, but it's in excellent shape, well maintained. This is the Walmart right there to the left. I always worry about this corner coming up because of that fence. It's kind of blind, and I like to keep my speed up. So I come in here kind of fast. If somebody was cutting the corner at the same time, it could be bad, but as of yet I haven't had that problem. So we're gonna go up here, and it says Coachman Bridge closed. You'll see the construction. It's supposed to be finished in a little over a month. It's basically been closed the entire time I've been here. So 8 months so far. People are generally friendly, I've found, on the trail. They smile. I've kind of wondered if I am grimacing rather than smiling, but because I'm facing down, maybe people think my grimace is actually a smile, because they're always very friendly. Unusually so. But there are worse things than for people to think that you're happier than you maybe are. Although, in general, I'm usually pretty happy when I'm on my bike and on these paths. So maybe I am smiling. Okay, nobody's coming. I'm just gonna go. So this is Memorial Day, actually. And what you see here is a Frisbee disc park. This is where Frisbee golf was invented, evidently. And so there's quite a number of these Frisbee golf courses around here. I've never been hit by anybody yet, but you know, they're constantly in use. Thanks. Generally courteous people, though, as they zigzag across the bike path. So here's Coachman Bridge on Old Coachman Road. And it's sure taken them a long time. So they've limited your ability to... I'm going to slow down here with these people coming. So here's where I cut across. And if I went to the right, that's more of Duke Energy Trail and also a lower part of the Ream Wilson Trail, but this is kind of what I consider the official Ream Wilson Trail. And it's quite nice. I mean, you go through multiple parks, all the way down to the harbor at Safety Harbor, and then along the waterfront and into Phillippe Park. And the thing that I like mostly is that, with few exceptions, you don't really have to cross a lot of streets, comparatively. It kind of follows this greenbelt area with a stream, and wanders through, and you're basically going through this little park system most of the way, which is nice. This is Highway 19 there that I'm going under. I have to say, this is the area where I see more slightly shady characters more than anywhere else on my ride. You can see where there's been a few trees that have been cut down or fallen down. And, this is still cleanup from the hurricane about 9 months ago. And they're still cleaning up from it. So it was pretty severe and lots of damage. But, you know, everything still looks really nice. I tried to signal her. A lot of people today. I'll pass just a few usually. on here. There's a nice little pond over there you can see. Oh, and I think there was an alligator there. I think this is actually officially an alligator park. Kopek Alligator Park, something like that. I can never remember the name. But more frisbee golf here. But it's quite dry. No, you're fine, sorry. So the trail is closed up ahead, so I have to take this little detour. Luckily, the detour ends up being about the same distance, so that's nice. And just takes me through a different part of the park and then through a small amount of neighborhood. The official bike path, I don't know what they're doing, but it's been closed for about a month. So I'll be interested to see what they've done, if anything, during the closure. Again, more frisbee golf here. I guess officially they call it disc golf, since frisbee is a brand, but I don't care. But beautiful trees here with the Spanish moss hanging off. And the waterways there off to the side. Nice, large, wide path. So although it is 90 degrees, I seem to be feeling okay. I don't feel like the heat is overpowering me. I did see an alligator right there once. Phillippe Park, it's called. There's 5 miles right there. I think maybe when I'm riding and sweating, I squint because of the sweat to keep the sweat out of my eyes, and that causes me to look like I'm smiling. So this is still another part of the detour. In general, I don't mind it, but I don't like the dips here in the road because they kind of slow me down. Some of them aren't so bad. That one wasn't bad, but a couple of them up here you almost have to jump over to avoid a jarring hit. So I'm coming up to the end of the detour, and this begins the hill portion. Yeah, see, this is just... So this takes me up over the overpass over Booth McMillan. Again, a blind corner there. When I first started taking this, I could barely make it up this hill. It would just about kill me. I wasn't really back into shape from the cancer treatments. But now I seem to be doing pretty well coming up the hills, so I'm clearly in better shape. Going up is this nice coast down. Have to look carefully, make sure there's no bikes coming here as I hit that T there. But again, I've never had a problem there, but I'm still cautious. But this is a beautiful park area with trees overhanging the trail. And all the Spanish moss. So this is Bayshore Drive, which takes me into downtown Safety Harbor. And again, still part of the Ream Wilson Trail. It's nice. A couple of parks along the way. and then along the shore, which is just off to the right. And a lot of people out today, I guess, day off. One thing I don't like about this section is the sidewalk has ridges where tree roots have pushed up the slabs, and they can be a bit jarring sometimes. I'm going to speed up and see if I can pass these people before I get to the hill. Mind if I pass you? Thank you. Thanks much. You too. I mean, it's a little hill, but it's a hill for Florida. But you see the ridge there, wherever there's tree roots underneath, it can really cause problems. Oh, don't do it. Here we go. And you end up getting them on both sides. So I tend to try to stay more in the center here to avoid them as much as possible, rather than riding on the right, which I tend to do mostly. That's kind of the end of the upheaves there. So from here on down, it's pretty flat. So we're coming up to the bridge where I had my accident and ran into the bridge. I was going the other way and just couldn't correct enough and smacked right into it right here. Knocked me out of bicycling for about 2 weeks, and then had to slowly get back. But you can see the bay there off to the right. So there's 7 miles. Hitting at about 12.7 miles an hour. When you're not in the shade, you can really feel that heat from the sun. I'm going to be happy to leave this heat because it starts. The heat I'm okay with, but when the humidity gets so high, boy, it's rough. I was just going to complain about these e-bikes riding on the trail, and that guy is actually doing the right thing. He's not riding on the trail, he's riding on the road. It's an electric bike rather than as a bicycle. So good for him. So part of me doesn't like those e-bikes, but I will admit, when I get passed by one, it motivates me to speed up. My competitive nature appears. So I think what I don't like is when they cause problems, like some of the young kids that'll buzz by and try and scare people, yell at them as they drive by about 30 miles an hour on the trail. But if they're just riding and using this electric assist, then I don't mind at all. In fact, I think it's great that people can bike more evenly that way with people who aren't in as good a shape. So this is Safety Harbor. So several months ago, back in like December, it's a Saturday, all kinds of people here, families, and there was a child sitting on this bench there, was hidden as I was coming the other direction by the trash can. I was trying to avoid people, and just as I got to the trash can, the child decided to dart out and run across the path, not seeing me or noticing, probably, 2-year-old. And I don't know how I missed him. I mean, he was right in front of me, and it could have been real bad. There's 8 miles. And now we're coming to this beautiful area along the waterfront. Just gorgeous houses here. Extension of Bayshore Drive, but hardly used, rarely driven on. More people walking. But just gorgeous houses, this one here especially I love. More classic style, I don't like the more modern ones like these. Although they're quite popular here in Florida. But I like the classic look. Much wind still, so that's good. Although there's some ugly clouds there to the left, but I think they may have missed me, so I don't think I'll get rained on. Cars down here. I see golf carts. But I guess, Memorial Day, everything's a little different. People going on rides, doing things they normally don't do, exploring. So the road road has a turnaround up here, and there's a bridge that you can only walk or bike across, which takes you into Phillippe Park. Amazing amount of traffic. I never see people here. Here's the turnaround. Here at the little bend that should be 9 miles, and there it is. "13 miles an hour. What are you gonna do? Highly unusual. Everybody's out today. Have to be careful, make sure people don't pull out right in front of me. Good hill. Pull in front ways, so backing up they can't really see. So that's 10 miles right there. 3 minutes 40 seconds for the mile. That's not bad, especially with that hill in there. I maintained my speed pretty well. Gonna take a little spur here that takes me up this area just to add a little bit of distance to get me my full 20 miles. Sometimes GPS glitches and will either short me or give me extra mileage. It's only done it about the last 3 weeks. So I'm not sure what that's from. I know there was some magnetic storms, some from sunspots, coronal ejections, which were impacting communications. So it could be that, or there could be a bug introduced either on the phone. Well, probably not the app. Because I actually tried using a different app and it still glitched in the same way. So it's either the location services on the phone and in the watch, because I use my watch to track the GPS. But I don't know if they share common code base. Or it's the satellites are actually glitching, which could be. Although it does seem like it's become less of a problem the last few days. So there's a grave marker up here from Odette Phillippe that this park is named after. I don't know what to deserve that distinction, but I sure love the park. It's beautiful here. On a normal day, there's only 1 or 2 cars parked here. And I love this section through here with the sand on the roadway and palm trees. Really beautiful. Gonna slow down and take a drink here. I don't think I'm really hydrating as much as just kind of clearing my throat, wetting my mouth and throat. And just feeling a little something cool. I really don't drink enough to be considered hydrating myself during a ride. But then I catch up when I am finished. Oh, I love this area through here, though. I've always said if I win the lottery, I'll buy a house down here. And of course, my chances of winning the lottery having never bought a ticket and with no plans to ever buy a ticket are only slightly less than everybody else who buys tickets regularly. I think I'm riding a little slower. It's because of the higher humidity today. It's impacting my energy level a little more. Yesterday I was doing about 14.5 right here, averaging 14.5 miles per hour. Now I'm 13.3, so noticeably slower. 13.4, so about a mile per hour slower, but I don't feel the need to race today. I'm just enjoying the ride. Oh, somebody's turning. Cross over here. Man, lots of traffic. Thank you. That's 12 miles back there at the corner. 53 minutes. Like to try and finish under an hour and a half for 20 miles, if I can. Pretty close to that pace. We'll have to see how I'm able to maintain from here. Gonna ride in through here to take a look at the fountain. Very nice fountain. Significantly cooler next to the water here too. Beautiful plants and flowers here. Ooh, just hit a wave of warm air right here. Missed mentioning that was where I got in the bike accident. I guess I'm focusing on the ride more since it does feel hotter. I'm just trying to stay focused. But a nice wide path here. I like that. And I like the trees covering the sidewalk here, the path. It's quite nice. So it'll be interesting to see how I do the rest of the way home. I'm feeling just a little bit of energy zapping, but so far I think I'm keeping up my pace, but I may hit a wall. I think the heat probably getting to me. I think I may have accidentally hit the stop button, so I'm going to check. No, it's still going. Okay. The old days when I used to be able to run. Sadly, I think those days are done. But I can certainly ride. Should be about 14 miles here. Yep. Miles per hour, so slowing down a little. Okay, here's the reverse of the bridge over Booth McMillan or McMillan Booth, I forget. McMillan Booth. That's the order. Well, even with zapped energy, I was able to keep a decent pace on that. Street is stained there. The water must be doing something, because it's only that house. One right there, I forgot. Phillippe Park. Miles, 13.3. Oh, there's a nice cool breeze there from somewhere. Thank you. Coming up on 16 miles, maintaining the speed, 13.3, that's good. Definitely feeling it though. Thank you. Nice of him to stop there. Training practice facility here. They have games here in the spring. I didn't go to any. Maybe next year though. feeling the heat now. While it lasted. Weeks ago, I'm riding through here. All of a sudden, a bunny comes streaking at a top speed straight across, right into my front wheel. Ran over him. Nothing I could do. Man, those things are fast. This is an area where you see a lot of bunnies. Usually some lady who lives right over there will bring carrots out and feed the bunnies. Didn't see any today though. Too hot, I think. I always use the electric bikes as motivation. wait until they come before you go? There's 20. 13.3, so I maintained. That's good.